Walking, it's revolutionary science, right? Because clearly the human body was built to sit still for 10 hours a day and only move when snacks are involved. And yet, the moment you start walking daily, your brain acts like you just flipped the main power switch back on. Here's what's actually happening. Walking increases blood flow to the brain. More blood means more oxygen. More oxygen means neurons fire faster and communicate better. That's why your thoughts feel clearer and your reactions feel quicker after a walk. It also boosts something called BDNF, a growth signal for brain cells. Think of it like fertilizer for your mind. The more you walk, the more your brain strengthens connections tied to memory, focus, and learning. Stress hormones drop too. When cortisol lowers, your brain shifts out of survival mode and back into thinking mode. That's when problem solving and creativity show up. This is why people get ideas while walking, not while scrolling. Your brain wasn't built to think while sitting still. It was built to think while moving. Your body switches from storing to using energy. So the body finally sees movement and goes, "Oh, we're doing something now." Walking daily sends a strong signal that energy is needed, not for emergencies, for normal life. That changes how your body handles food and fat. When you walk, muscles pull sugar out of the blood and use it for fuel. That keeps insulin levels steadier. And when insulin stays steady, your body stores less fat and burns more of what's already there. This is why belly fat often changes first. Not because walking targets the stomach, but because the body prefers to use easy access energy when movement becomes daily. Walking also wakes up your metabolism, not in a loud, extreme way, in a steady, predictable way your body trusts. Over time, you feel lighter, less sluggish, less bloated. Your body feels more responsive and efficient during normal daily tasks. The science is simple. Bodies that move daily use energy better. Bodies that use energy better don't hold on to it as tightly. Your mood stops running the show. Your mood decided to wake up and run the entire day again. One small inconvenience and suddenly everything feels dramatic. Turns out your brain isn't trying to sabotage you, it's just stuck in the wrong mode. Your brain has two main settings, survive and function. Stress keeps it locked in survive mode. Walking helps switch it back. Movement triggers chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. These help stabilize mood and reduce anxiety. You don't feel instantly happy, you feel steady, calm, clear. Walking also interrupts mental spirals. When you sit still, your brain loops problems. When you move, your brain shifts focus to the environment, breathing, and rhythm. This reduces emotional overload. Over time, reactions change. You pause before snapping. You recover faster after stress. Things feel manageable instead of overwhelming. Small problems stop feeling like emergencies, and your mind gains space to think before reacting. And the wild part? You didn't solve every problem. You just moved your body. The brain reads movement as safety. And when the brain feels safe, mood stabilizes. Energy stops crashing midday. The 2 p.m. shutdown. Brain buffering. Eyes heavy. Suddenly considering a nap in places you definitely shouldn't. Most people assume they need more rest when this hits. But the body actually creates energy through use, not stillness. Walking flips the switch. Movement activates your nervous system and improves circulation. Oxygen reaches your muscles and brain faster, which keeps everything alert instead of idling. You're not forcing energy, you're generating it.
This is why daily walkers feel fewer afternoon crashes. The body isn't stuck in low power mode all day. It stays engaged.
Walking also helps regulate sleep. Movement during the day increases something called sleep pressure at night. That leads to deeper rest, better recovery, and stronger morning energy. Then the cycle builds. Walk to sleep better, to wake stronger, to move more. Over time, energy stops feeling spiky. You don't rely on caffeine the same way. Mood doesn't control your productivity. Your system becomes steady instead of reactive. Not because walking is intense, because it's repeated. The human body is designed to produce energy when it's used regularly. And when movement becomes daily, energy stops being something you chase and starts being something you carry with you. Your heart becomes more efficient, not just stronger. You'd think your heart needs intense workouts to improve. Loud effort, heavy breathing, sweat everywhere. But science says consistency matters more than intensity, and walking delivers exactly that. Each time you walk, your heart pumps a little faster to move blood through your body. Oxygen travels to your muscles. Nutrients reach your organs. Waste moves out more efficiently. It's basic circulation, but repeated daily, it becomes training. Over time, your heart adapts. It doesn't panic as easily. It doesn't overwork for simple tasks. It learns to pump more blood with less effort. That's called efficiency, and it's one of the biggest predictors of long-term heart health. You may notice stairs feel easier. Carrying groceries doesn't spike your breathing. Your resting heart rate may slowly drop. These are signs your system is getting stronger in the background. Walking also supports blood vessel health, keeping them flexible and responsive. This helps regulate blood pressure and improves overall flow. Your heart doesn't need extreme stress to improve. It needs rhythm, and daily walking gives it exactly that. Your joints start working like they're supposed to. Most people think joints wear out from use. Science shows the opposite. Joints break down faster from not moving. They depend on movement to stay healthy. Walking pushes fluid through your joints. That fluid acts like oil in a machine. It reduces friction, cushions movement, and keeps surfaces from grinding together. When you sit too long, that system slows down. Stiffness builds. Movement feels harder than it should. Daily walking restarts the process. Knees bend more smoothly, hips loosen. The lower back warms up faster. The body begins to trust movement again instead of resisting it. Muscles around your joints also strengthen with regular walking. Strong muscles absorb shock and reduce pressure on bones. That's why simple walking can actually reduce discomfort over time instead of causing it. You may notice mornings feel easier. Getting up takes less effort. Your body feels more responsive instead of tight. Joints were designed for steady motion, not stillness. Walking gives them the input they expect. And when they get it daily, they stay functional longer. Your brain starts trusting you again. Here's the strange part about habits. They don't just change your body, they change how your brain sees you. Every time you say you'll walk and actually do it, your brain records that as proof. Proof that you follow through. Proof that your actions match your decisions. And the brain pays attention to that. This builds something deeper than motivation. It builds self-trust. You may notice small changes first. You hesitate less. You second-guess less. You feel more comfortable making decisions without overthinking every outcome. That's not random. It's your brain recognizing a pattern of consistency. Walking is simple, which is why it works. There's no complicated plan, no perfect setup, just action repeated daily. And repeated action rewires identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying to be disciplined. You start seeing yourself as someone who just does what they decide to do. Confidence grows quietly this way, not from hype, from keeping small promises to yourself over and over again. Your blood sugar stops acting like a drama queen, because apparently your blood sugar loves chaos. Eat something, spike, sit down, crash, get hungry again, repeat like a bad reality show. Walking shuts that nonsense down fast. When you move, your muscles grab sugar from your bloodstream and use it for energy. No waiting, no overreaction, just fuel being used the way it's supposed to be. That keeps spikes smaller and prevents those hard crashes later. This is why energy feels more steady when you walk daily. You're not riding waves all day. You're staying level. It also calms cravings. Stable blood sugar means your brain isn't constantly yelling for snacks. You feel full longer. You think about food less. Over time, your body handles meals better, not because your diet became perfect, because your system finally got movement to support it. Even short walks help. The body responds immediately to motion. And when that motion becomes daily, stability becomes normal. Stress stops hoarding in your body. Oh good, more stress. Exactly what the human body wanted today. Tight shoulders, racing thoughts, jaw clenched for no reason. Perfect. Walking interrupts that pattern fast. When you move, your nervous system shifts gears. Breathing deepens, muscles start releasing tension. Stress hormones begin dropping because your brain reads movement as progress, not danger. It's a survival signal. Stillness can mean trapped. Movement means capable. That's why problems feel smaller after a walk. Not because they vanished, but because your brain stopped sounding the alarm. Over time, this changes your stress response. You don't stay tense as long. You recover faster. You pause before reacting. Walking becomes a release valve. Pressure builds, you move, pressure drops. It's simple biology. The body stores stress when energy has nowhere to go. Walking gives it somewhere to go. And once that outlet becomes daily, tension stops piling up the same way. Your brain builds new connections while you walk. Your brain loves walking. Seriously, it lights up like, oh good, we're finally doing something. Every step sends messages between your eyes, ears, muscles, and balance system. Your brain has to keep up, so it builds new connections to handle it faster next time.
It's like upgrading your brain's wiring.
The more you walk, the easier it gets for your brain to think, react, and remember things. That's why ideas pop up on walks. That's why problems feel easier halfway down the sidewalk.
Your brain isn't just relaxing, it's practicing. Over time, thinking feels smoother.
You switch between ideas faster. You don't get stuck as easily.
Walking trains your brain to connect information better.
And a brain that connects things faster learns faster too.
You stop waiting for motivation to save you.
Ah, yes, motivation. That magical feeling that shows up twice a month and disappears the second the couch looks comfortable. Turns out, your brain doesn't actually run on motivation. It runs on momentum. Walking daily builds that momentum fast.
You're not hyped, you're not inspired,
You're just moving. And that movement sends a message to your brain. Action is normal now. Not optional, not rare, just part of the day. Once that pattern locks in, something shifts. You stop negotiating with yourself. You don't need a perfect mood or a burst of discipline. You already have proof you follow through. That proof spreads into other areas. Health choices feel easier. Decisions feel faster. Habits stick longer. Because identity changes. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying to improve. You start seeing yourself as someone who moves, who acts, who follows through. And once action becomes identity, consistency stops feeling forced. You just do the thing. Start small, stay daily. Momentum will carry the rest. Walking seems simple, but it quietly rewires your brain and body faster than most hard routines ever do. If this helped you see movement differently, hit subscribe for more science that actually changes how you live. Be honest, how many days a week are you walking right now?